What's up, guys? How are we all doing? Welcome back to another episode. So today I wanted to actually give a little bit of advice for artists, and I'm thinking this might be like a little mini segment. It might be like 2 to 3 episodes. I'm gonna have to space it out. Everything is gonna be in my own opinion. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. But I just wanted to offer my advice through the experiences that I have had over the past year. So this first episode, I want to focus on the startup, the ground up. If you're an artist who has just started, or if you are wanting to become an artist, thinking of becoming an artist, and you're unsure of where to start, how to start, and what to do. I kind of just want to break it down into kind of like little mini steps of what I think you should be focusing on if you're in that situation. So essentially, the first thing as an artist, you need to ask yourself, where do you want to be as an artist? Where do you want to go? What is your goal as an artist? Where do you see yourself, and what is the ambition behind it all? For instance, is it your goal to be an artist that is casually playing around town? You're just playing for a few drinks here and there, and you're just having fun with it, and you just want to kind of be around in the scene. If so, then set that as your goal. Or, is it your goal? You see yourself as an artist with a booking agent and playing multiple shows on a weekly basis, building a mini fan base around your local town? Do you see yourself traveling the country? Do you see yourself traveling internationally? Do you want to go to a global scale? Just, find where you're at. Where do you truly see yourself? And you have to be, this is an honest thing, I say it with everything, self-awareness. Just be honest with yourself. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. If that's what you want to be in any of those sections, and that's fine. That's completely fine. So you just need to ask that first, and then set that as your main goal. And once you kind of get that vision, and gauge how serious you are and how seriously you want to take this as a career, then you can essentially take it to the next step. The next thing you kind of want to be looking at is how and where you're going to make your music. You need to take that step real seriously. Are you going to have to outsource studios? If so, where are they? What's the distance? How much is that going to cost? Are you interested in creating your own studio within your house, within your room? What softwares are you going to be using? You need to figure out what the best environment for you is to be able to create the music you want to create, and how much it's going to cost as a startup, and if it's sustainable. That needs to be the thing that you're looking at, because every artist needs to be comfortable in how and where they're creating their music, because that's where the magic happens. And once you can start creating music, even if you're not at where you want to be in terms of a studio or whatnot, as long as you'll be able to create music, whether it's on your laptop, on computer, or whatever, in your bedroom, out at a friend's house, it's all about practice. Like, I know that seems pretty obvious, but sometimes it needs to be reassured to people. The amount of work that needs to go into your creative art is unbelievable. Like, if you are truly wanting to take your career as an artist seriously, and you really want to get to that stage where you can potentially do this as a full-time job, part-time or whatever, you need to be putting in the work. The practice needs to be on a whole nother level, the same way an athlete would be training every single day, multiple hours a day, on different sections of their craft within that sport or creative work. You need to be practicing. You need to really be pushing yourself and enjoying it whilst you're doing it. So any free time you have should be spent practicing. And then what I'd say to people, I've said this to a few artists before as well, in terms of when you are creating, do not be afraid to experiment. You cannot be afraid to experiment with different sounds and just trialing different things. You never really know where your sound is at as you start off as an artist, and you never want to box yourself into what you think you should sound like or what other people think you should sound like. Just be you. When you're creating, just be you, man. Like, whatever it is that you're feeling emotionally, just put that out into creativity. And there's nothing wrong with experimenting with different sounds, different beats, different ideas, and trying out little different genres here and there. Try as many different things as you possibly can when creating music, and you'll eventually come to finding your authentic self, finding your sound. And look, organically, you'll just lean towards what you're most comfortable with, and that'll clearly show in the quality of your music as well. So do not be afraid to experiment with your sound. And last but not least is simply releasing your music. once you have fine-tuned all those steps and you're comfortable with where you're at, you're creating music, just release it. We have all these free platforms. Get it up on the online web. Get it out to people. Get some people listening to your music. I've seen too many artists hold back on the release of their music for multiple reasons. It's not the right time, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. It's never a right time. Look, as an artist, you need to understand that no one gives two fucks about what it is you're doing unless you are legitimately popping. It's a big mistake I see a lot of people doing. No one cares. No one literally cares if you're dropping it at the right time, if it's meant to mean this, do that. Just release your music, release it as whatever you're creating, just get it out. As soon as you're happy with it, don't be afraid to get it out on the platforms. That should be your main goal, getting music out. Your music is your strongest form of content. You cannot be sleeping on it and postponing releases just because of other people's opinions and excuses that are coming out. Just release it and keep going from there. So yeah, that's just a little bit of my advice for any new artists, coming into the scene, or any people who are thinking of becoming an artist, and it's something that they want to really look into and are passionate about. I think just tackling those first few steps, one step at a time, slowly and comfortably, and just making sure you're enjoying every piece of the process on the journey of being an artist and on your life. I hope that helps some people and gives them at least just like a blueprint of where to start and what they should be looking at doing. If you think this, potentially helps you, or it could potentially help someone let them know. Like, tag them in this, send it to them, or whatever. I want to get this across to some artists. That's pretty much the first little series that I wanted to do with this. It just depends whether or not I can. I'm thinking there might be 3 episodes of this. I kind of wanted to scale up in terms of where artists are at. I'll kind of want to start it off at bottom level, where artists coming into it, new artists. Then maybe the second little kind of middle stage of artists, and then more to a grander scale. So we'll see how we go. I'll see you guys on the next one, and I hope you guys liked it. Cheers.